Math Genie. In this video, I'll be explaining how to solve the sum of the first blank positive integers. These type of problems appear frequently in math competitions, and it is crucial for you to know how to solve these problems. In this video, I'll be explaining the way that you can solve these type of problems. Let's look at the question. Find the sum of the first 2,000 positive even integers. When you first look at this problem, you might be tempted to go ahead and enter those 2,000 even integers into your calculator. But you don't want to do that because at competitions you don't have enough time to do that. So in this video, I'll be explaining how to solve this in a much more faster and a more quicker way. Let's look at the question. The sum of the first 2,000 positive even integers. So if you refer back to my arithmetic sequence video, you'll remember that I taught you a formula, a summation formula, that said that S, representing the sum, equals n times a sub 1 plus a sub n all over 2. What does this n represent? Number of terms in the sequence. What does this a sub 1 represent? A sub n. Let me just try to make that circle a little bit better. That's representing the first term. A sub n is representing the last term of the sequence. And this s is just representing for the sum of the entire sequence. And this is for arithmetic sequences. So you already know how to use this formula, or at least you should be after watching my video, which I'll link in the description box below. So you can actually solve this particular problem by using this formula, which I will first show you how to. So let's try to use this formula to solve this problem. So for S, I'm going to say just keep the variable right there for the sum. So S equals, how many number of terms are there in this specific sequence? It says 2,000 positive even integers, indicating that there's 2,000 numbers in the sequence. So we're going to put 2,000 in the front. So 2,000 times, what's the first term? 2, because 2 is the smallest positive even integers. We're going to put 2. What's the last term in the sequence? 4,000. Why? Because there's 2,000 positive even integers, and the 2,000 term is going to be 4,000 all over 2. If we solve this, we should be able to get what this S represents, or what this S is equal to, or the sum of the sequence. 2,000, you can cancel that out to be 1,000. So it'll be 1,000 times 4,000 plus 2 is going to be 4,002 equals 4,0,0,0,2. You got to add this 3 zeros at the end. So you'll get 4,002,000. And that is actually the answer to this question. 4,000,000, and 2,000. Well, you have the answer, but sometimes it's really easy for you to forget this formula, this summation formula. It's actually really easy for you to forget this. So I'll teach you guys a really, really simple formula that you can apply to all of these. Find the sum of the first blank positive integers. Because you can't always use this formula every single time, because you won't be able to really memorize it. I really, really recommend you to memorize this type of formula. But in the case that you can't memorize this, or you you're always frightened at competitions, and it's easy for you to forget a lot of things, there's a simple version of this formula that can apply only and only to these positive even integer problems. What is that formula? It's really, really simple. It's n squared plus n, or people most likely refer to n times n plus 1. This is really simple. You just got to know this one formula, and you'll know the answer to this question without having to use this summation formula. Let's actually try to do this. Let's try to plug in the numbers right here. So let me just crop this out, because we already know how to do this now. Let's crop that out. So Let's try to use the second formula. The second formula. Let's use brushes. Let's use the second formula. So n times n plus 1. How are we supposed to plug in the numbers? It's the same variable. N is still standing for the number of terms. So n is going to represent 2,000. 2,000. And 2,000 plus 1. Really simple, right? So you have 2,000 times 2,001. How are you supposed to do this? Always remember, take out the zeros if you need to for a while. 2004. And add them back in at the very, very end. Guess what? You have the same exact answer as the first formula. So you can use either of these ways because all of them work. However, it's much quicker for you to use this particular formula because first of all, there's no fractions here that you have to worry about. And also, it's way simpler, the formula. Like, look at the difference between them. This one looks way more complicated than the right one. The choice is yours, and you can use either of these ways, but I really highly recommend you to know both of them just in case. But whenever you're given with these particular positive integer problems, even integers, always use this formula. In my next video, I'll be explaining how to use a different formula for positive odd integers, the sum of the first blank positive odd integers. Please do not get them mixed up. This formula only works for even integers. Thank you for staying until the end of this video.
Math Genie.